Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Namaste. Namaste. Um, okay, so I'm just going to check that it's working. It's always a miracle that this is happening. Um, Victor, hello. Kristen. Pei, hello. Hi, Singapore. Hi, Gili Islands, Brandy. And Liz, Korea. Woo, Marsha. Awesome, you guys. Great. Morning, sir. Hi, Tommy. Miss you, man. Morning. There's Christina. Hello, Christina. Hi, Linda. Hello, hello. Okay, so from Seoul, Korea. Hello. Hi, Liz. Hi, Falu. So this is, I'll keep reading the names out and saying hi as we go. This is an informal talk. And so what I'm proposing to do is some short talks so that I don't go crazy. No, that's part of the advantage, so that I don't go crazy. But more so, just to share the things that have helped me form the approach to life through the lens of yoga over the years. And just like the little things that have sort of stayed with me over time. And I often get asked about this from students. And so I thought I would just sort of lay it out a little bit more and, offer you guys a chance to ask me some questions from here, and I'll do my best to answer or to you read the little script, and maybe we can sort of build a conversation about this over time. Hi, Laura. Okay, so I am the first thing is that in order, especially because of this current situation with all of us locked at home, etc., with all of that happening, it's created a sort of a bigger space for our day somehow. With nowhere to go, we have this big space. And certainly I feel that too. Usually my life, I'm in and out of the house, and I'm out teaching and doing everything and coming back. So it sort of structures my life even without much foresight. It just happens. So then when you're stuck at home, it shows you how without leaving, sometimes there's less structure. And without that structure, it can cause some anxiety and stress. So that highlights something for me, which is that in order to keep sort of a clear mind, which is the central theme of yoga, traditionally, the central theme of classical yoga is to have a sattvic mind, to have a calm, serene, illuminated mind. And in order to have that, we need to create the conditions. And from a yogic mind or a sattvic mind, we have the higher probability of wisdom and making good choices, etc. If we're working from a place of anxiety or stress, we tend to make poor decisions or less optimal decisions, and we tend to make more mistakes. We eat wrong or we sleep wrong or whatever. So the one of the key principles of yoga for me has been to have a plan, and to create a day plan has become more and more important for me. And by having a day plan, what I mean is the night before, last night before going to bed or some point after dinner, I will write out in a journal the structure of my day. I will give myself like a basic window of waking up, and then I will write out things such as meditation and pranayama. 15 minutes here. I'll write out journaling 15 minutes, and then I will structure blocks throughout the day where I have time for practice or time for eating or time for reading. And it sounds neurotic and it sounds like overly organized. And initially when I saw these ideas, that definitely was my response to it. Like, oh, it's too planned. But now that I've been doing it consecutively for months, it's proven so helpful for my mind to be yogic, to have a more sattvic mind. And so I'm going to give you an example of some of my plans that I have every day. So the beginning is intention. So something we learn in yoga is that intentionality is key to success, certainly to long-term success. Intentionality meaning if you have an idea of where you want to go, of what you want to do, and you have, over time, you build more commitment to that intention, we become less distracted. As things pop up, we take less roads of distraction and we move forward. And we could think of that in terms of one day, but you can always also think of it as in terms of like one practice. Like if we go into a practice and we have an intention of what we're going to do, a sequence or an idea of what we want to work on, we're less distracted by difficulty or failing in a pose or whatever. We get less distracted. You could certainly see that as valuable in life. Like if you want to learn how to play a piano, you have to keep going. That's your intention. You got to move through sucking at the piano for whatever, for days or months or years or whatever it is. So intentionality is vital, but there's a bigger piece to this that I have found, because for a long time I would know these concepts like intentionality is really important in yoga, and I would know this theoretically. I'm like, okay, it's really important. But what I've learned is intentionality is not only important, but it's deeply satisfying. By that, what I mean is like when I have an intention, when I wake up, okay, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. And then for the first 20 minutes, I'm going to do pranayama. And then for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to meditate. And then as I go along day after day and I fulfill those intentions, I actually feel a satisfaction. Like I said, oh, I wanted to do that. And then I did it. And I'm like, wow. And it leaves me feeling a sense of satisfaction, which satisfaction leads to a greater sense of self-confidence, which then leads to a deeper sense of sattvic mind. So again, it sort of relates back to this basic concept of being yogic, being sattvic in the mind. So intentionality is satisfying. That's the first piece. Intentionality is satisfying. It's satisfying. So personal practices, sounds like yoga, right? Personal practices are key. And practices are not hobbies. Practices are things that we do every day. A practice, like waking up is a practice. Eating is a practice. Going to the bathroom is a practice. Brushing your teeth, sleeping, they're practices. And those people don't even think about them, because if you don't do them, you're basically, ostracized. So personal practices become deeper and deeper over time. And yoga is not some strange sort of esoteric thing. Yoga is having a sattvic mind. That's the key. So our practices are things that help us achieve this state of mind where we're serene, we're calm, we're illuminated, not reactive. So the practices that I do are, I wake up, so I set my alarm, and first I write it out the night before, and then the next morning I wake up and I begin with pranayama. Basically, I wake up and I have the stuff set up the night before, and I go right into it. And I'm going to do another short lesson on pranayama to give you some basic exercises. But I do 15 to 20 minutes of pranayama right away. and I use a timer. I was going to show you my timer, but it's my phone, so you can use a watch. But I do 5-minute sets of pranayama. It's real simple. I just lie down and set the timer, do 5 minutes, the alarm goes off, repeat the timer, next exercise, time off, next exercise, repeat the timer, time off, finished. Done. I don't think, oh, is that good or bad? It is done. Sit up, and it's so early I can barely think. I sit up, and then I set the alarm for between 10 and 15 minutes, and I meditate. So right after waking up, 30 minutes later, and there's no gap. This is wake up, pranayama, meditation. 30 minutes later, I'm done those two first personal practices. Now, whether I'm successful or not in pranayama or meditation is anybody's guess. I don't know. I'm just experimenting with what I've learned. And hi, Pansy. I just experiment with what I've learned, and I'm not even in the stage where I'm evaluating its results, its success or failures. All I'm doing is feeling deeply satisfied that I fulfilled those intentions. That day after day, week after week, I'm like, wow, I have built some structure with these practices, and they are producing a definite result in my mind. Like, to feel successful within my own intentions has brought me great resolve. And so I highly recommend it, and start simply. You could start with just 5 minutes of pranayama. Hi, Time One Vivian, hello. You could start with just 5 minutes of pranayama and 5 minutes of meditation. 10 minutes, people say I have no time, and I agree, it feels like we have no time until you make the time and you realize you had the time all along. That's how it's felt for me. Okay, so then right after I do pranayama and meditation, I get up and I go to the kitchen and I take, voila, coconut oil. I think maybe that's backwards because of the camera, I don't know. Coconut oil. And I take a spoon, tablespoon, and 1 spoonful, it's not even like a heaping, it's just like a spoonful or whatever. And then in the mouth, and coconut oil, 1 spoonful in the mouth, and I set my iPhone 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I set the iPhone, put the phone aside, and then I swish. My friend Brent would say, swish your mouth, and I swish my mouth, and I not violently. It's not like it's like I just let it go. I don't even think about it anymore. And at the end of the 15 minutes, I spit it out, and I don't spit it out in the sink. I spit it out in the garbage, and then I rinse my mouth out once with water. Done. But during that 15 minutes, while I'm swishing, I feed my cats. Okay, that's a whole thing. I got to fend them off because they attack me once the food's out. And then I prepare my coffee. I do a pour over, so I spoon the coffee into the filter. I get the water ready, and I prepare my next practice, which is apple cider vinegar. And I take same spoon, rinse it off, and then I do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. All the hippies. I remember when I was young, all the hippies did this, and I was like, what's that? Now I do it every day, and I've done it every day for now 2 years or longer. And so I'm swishing my mouth, and I'm getting everything else done. So it's not like I need 15 minutes. It's like I'm doing stuff that I had to do anyway. Then I spit out the oil, and I drink a large glass of water with my apple cider vinegar in it. Glug, glug, glug. Now, to break these down, the oil pulling extracts toxins from the gums, from the skin of the inside of the mouth. It pulls stuff out. Like if you started to, let's say you had like a spicy meal the night before, or if you ate garlic, like heavy garlic, or those examples are just because they're dramatic ones. Like if you did any of that, yes, Marcia, start again. If you did any of that, the next morning it's like, ugh. Or if you're a smoker, the mouth's filled with smoke, or if you drank any kind of strong, maybe red wine, something that in the next day, it's still there, it's still there. And so coconut oil extracts these toxins, and it brings great health to your gums. So it is an incredible tool that is cheap, and it is fantastic health regimen. Now, the thing with the oil pulling is that I went to my dentist. I've been going to the same dentist, and Cassie wakes up here, living in the sticks. When I started going to the same dentist for about 6 years, there was some concern about my gum health and stuff like that. She was like, it was like, not bad, I'm like, not bad. But like, she was like, okay, you have to take care, flossing, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, after 6 months of oil pulling, my dental hygienist said, what are you doing? And I was like, did I drink too much red wine and coffee? And she's like, no, your gums look super healthy. Your gums look super healthy. And I was like, oh, all I'd been doing differently was oil pulling. And she was like amazed by it. And she started doing it herself. So there you go. Now, the apple cider vinegar is an amazing elixir for the digestive system. It helps me. I've always had sort of challenged digestion, maybe diet choice or whatever it was, sort of a mix of both, sensitive stomach and maybe not the best diet over the years. So I've refined my diet, but I've also done apple cider vinegar, and I do it sometimes 2 or 3 times a day with meals. And it has been amazing. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you how amazing that has helped my stomach. It is amazing. And it's crazy how when you sort of address your digestion, what happens is as your digestion clears, what happens? Sattvic mind. My mind is way more settled. And so it's these are the practices. Okay, so so wake up, pranayama, meditation, up, oil in the mouth, set the timer, feed the cats, make the oil, make the vinegar, make the coffee, spit out the oil, drink the vinegar. Now I take my coffee and I sit down and I journal every day. I did it for years, and I've gotten much more into it in the last year. I now do it twice a day. So I do a morning journal session. It takes me sometimes 5 minutes. It's it. I'm not feathering my ear and writing, Dear Hemingway. I sit down and I'm prompted. I have some prompts, some ideas to write on, and there's tons of good prompts, journal prompts out there. And then I'm prompted by some ideas to think about. I don't just write about like what I'm thinking and feeling. I used to do that. Now I'm prompted by considering values, yamas, niyamas, considering virtues, considering how I'm living by things that I think are my own values. And so I write about this, and it's prompted some great insights. It takes 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then I do that same thing in the evening again for 5 or 10 minutes, and I review the day. At the end of the day, I review my day. That's my journaling. So that's my morning, and it is less than an hour. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I can't live without it. It leaves my mind sattvic. And without this stuff, my mind is not sattvic. Even when I'm doing lots of asana, doing lots of headstand, shoulder stand, I can be fiery, I can be reactive and emotional and all that. So this stuff at the beginning of the day is so good. And I've realized doing this at the beginning of the day, like the first thing, has a deeper impact for me than getting up at 6 a.m. and doing asana right away. Like this little routine and then doing asana later has become, oh man, I feel so thankful for whoever inspired me to get on this, all the combination of people that have helped me over the years to collect these things. Okay, so moving on. Is this helpful? What are we doing here? Later, buy the coconut. Which brand do you recommend? I'm going to soon come out with my own brand of coconut oil. That'll take me a good 20 years, then I'll be selling it, ketogenic coconut oil. But for now, I don't know. I just get like raw extra virgin coconut oil. There's a really good oil that I used to use that now is not sold in Hong Kong because they were sold at the green shop in Hong Kong for Hong Kongers. It's called Mika, Meeka. But it's not here anymore. It had charcoal and myrrh oil and stuff. It was really great. But I want to move on because there's a few other things I want to connect on. Although that's a lot, intentionality is satisfying. Journal the night before to plan your day, and then challenge yourself to live by these and make it simple and small. Mine's like an hour or whatever. That's like an hour, but you can keep it smaller. Don't do everything I'm doing. Choose one that really speaks to you and try it out. But the key is that abhyasa, yogic, right? Abhyasa. You got to do stuff every day, consistently and wholeheartedly, like do it fully, whatever it is you're going to do, in order to look back and see the evidence of it. Otherwise, it's not really fair to the exercise. So, so there. Now, I wanted to touch on one more thing this morning, which is having some anchors, or what I'm now calling ideals, having some ideals. So, I'm being told that you can go to Organic Me, one word, to find Mika oil. Deb, thank you. So maybe I'll post that. I'm getting a lot of information from you guys right now, and I don't have some assistant to read it out, like Joe Rogan or whatever, but that would be good. Okay, so so having an ideal has become really important to me as well, what that means is at the beginning of my practice, I consider aligning with something. Not just aligning to how I feel, which is what I used to do, like align to your feelings, how do you feel? That's good, but that's separate. I choose something to align, something that is strong and something that is bigger than me. Could be a person or whatever. Mine is this mountain. This is Steven's photograph from 2007. This is Mount Kailash. So this mountain here is Mount Kailash. And my teacher years ago, Georg Forstein, he taught me meditation. He was my first meditation teacher. And the meditation was about aligning to the axes of the universe. Meaning that we take our being, our energy, our thoughts, and this whole thing, and we align it to something bigger. Like some would, align to God or to a deity or whatever, which can be helpful too. For me, I'm a mountain person, I'm a mountain person. And this spoke to me. Kailash spoke to me. And so what I do at the beginning of my practice is I visualize, there you go, visualize. I visualize this arcing ideal. And I use this to center my inner vision. So in my mind's eye, eyes closed, I see the mountain and I align my spine with it. I align to it. And I know people that do this aligning to their teachers and to people, and that can be very helpful too. But I choose Kailash. And I consider this bigness of the mountain, and I consider this axis that is somehow holding more of the world, potentially all of it, together. Whether sometimes life feels like it's loosely held together, sometimes it feels completely held. There is some, at least in this vision, there is some kind of loose connectivity. And from this, I let myself settle. And this helps me a lot. And if I'm teaching, you come in to teach and your mind has other things on it. And I begin, everything drops, and I set to this. And it creates a quality of sattvic mind. That's the game, right? That's the constantly bringing forward this objective of having a yogic mind, because that's where we're at our best, simple. Do these practices, set it up. So that in the beginning of my classes, I say, align your spine to the axes of the universe. That is what Mount Kailash is considered. It's considered the axes of the universe. And I can go into that further, the mythology and the cosmic philosophy around that. And so that is as much as I can get through right now, because I want to go through my mantra, the mantras that I use at the beginning of class, and give you some kind of greater definition and why I chose those ones. But I'll have to do that in another video. So it's hi Freddie, hi Freddie. So there you go. Intentionality is satisfying. Starting there. Give yourself the chance to feel satisfied with fulfilling your intentions. Keep them small, keep them simple. Start at the beginning of the day. Give yourself a small window at the beginning of the day. Do 1, 2, 3, whatever they are, and put them like they're like building a strong road for the day ahead. Then at the end of the day, you could do this review. And that's what I do. I journal at the very end of the day, put my glasses on, I sit at my desk and I journal and I review the day, because I mess up in so many ways every day. It's like I'm constantly working at a, whatever success rate. But this initial beginning of the day and the review has been very illuminating. It's very helpful. And I feel like I'm sort of becoming my own guide, is what yoga is meant to do. So I am going to turn this off, and then I'm going to begin my yoga class in 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to change my wardrobe, get the cats. But the class will be projected on Pure Yoga Official today. So I'm doing a level 1 Pure Yoga Official account. So you have to switch to the Pure Yoga account, and there I'll be, hello, like a TV show or whatever. Okay. I'm really thankful. I will do one on pranayama. I'll do a little short video on pranayama, and I also do one on the mantras. And I didn't really get to your questions, so I'll do another one like that. Maybe I'll do a few like this. I'm really thankful for you guys, and come and join me in practice from Squamish or from wherever, mid-levels or Singapore or whatever. All you guys. Okay, sending you my love. Namaste, namaste.